Good afternoon, everybody. Apologies for the delayed start this afternoon. We had a little glitch in the matrix. The wonders of Wi-Fi were not quite working at GG Fit Towers today, but here we are up and running. My name is Guy Griffiths, and at GG Fit, our mission is to help people by helping clubs to get their members to stick around longer. This is the fourth member retention mini masterclass that we've been running, focusing on new members this February. Short, sharp, focused 10-minute sessions with kind of three aims in mind. First of all, to make you think about your new members, to give you some measures, secondly, and thirdly, to show you ways that you can improve your new member journey and get your members to stick around longer. So hopefully you've got a cup of tea or something else similar. You've got 10 minutes to listen to what we've got to say today about motivating your new members. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about engaging with joiners. We've been talking about selling more inductions. Last week, we looked at why 7-day calls are so important and why they often don't happen. Today, we're going to focus on new members and their graduation, how many new members make it. Just by way of a recap, this was what we went through on the new member comms. You can go back and review the video through Crowdcast if you're registered. You can look at it on Facebook as well. The second week was talking about inductions. There was a lot of focus on how many members have an induction and selling the induction. Again, the video clips are available on that to review. And the same with last week's 7-day calls mini masterclass. So all of this content is out there. It's free for you to enjoy, to help you to get your members visiting more often, or just visiting regularly, and hopefully sticking around longer, getting healthier and fitter. Today, we're going to run through for the next 8 minutes or so, talking about graduation, how many new members make it. So first of all, we need to work out what is make it. How do you graduate? How does a new member progress from being a new member to being a regular, ongoing, active member at your club? This is not a finish line. We're trying to get them to. It's not a graduation in the university or college sense, but it's how they get past that or through that initial journey and onwards from there. So it's going to be things like, I mean, very simply, you could just say a certain time after joining for 1 month, 30 days, or even 2 or 3 months, some clubs use. After that point, the member has graduated and is a new member. Alternatively, you might have a minimum visit. And I know a couple of our clients will measure minimum visits. Once a new member has made 10 visits, say, they are then no longer a new member, they're an established member. Some members, that's going to take a couple of weeks. But for other members, it's going to take a couple of months or maybe even longer to get up to that 10 visit frequency. But that's an interesting spin on ways of measuring the graduation of your new members. Another alternative is to look and say, you know what, when a member has had their first review appointment, we want to get all members through our first review. In the same way that we want to get all members through an induction. So that's the way that we might measure our graduation process. Or slightly off the wall is if they open a certain message, then they graduate. It's not as popular, this one, but we've thrown it in there as a let's make you think about different ways. Putting a spin on those first two, just you can combine them as well. You could say, look, after 30 days, we're looking for 4 or more visits. So we're going to measure the new member journey in terms of the days after joining, but we're also going to look at members who've made 4 visits or more, or who have made less than 4 visits, which we covered a little bit when we talked about inductions and step ones and welcome sessions. So combining these different measures on how you graduate it is a good way of not only looking at the new member journey coming to an end and progressing, but also to say, how are we performing? To combine a few of these together, we've done this. This is a blog article we wrote a couple of years ago that I know quite a few clubs have implemented. In fact, one local authority implemented it and called it Zero to Hero, which was very, very nice, very flattering. The idea of this is a challenge for new members, or it could be for old members who are rejoining, who need to go through and fill in this Zero to Hero challenge card. It could be implemented through a system, depending on what front of house systems or other systems you've got available. But the simple way to do this is literally like a coffee card that says you have to collect these 6 stamps. Stamp 1 is for your stage 1 or step 1 or induction. Stamp 2 is for attending a class, getting your program review. And then we focus a bit more on visits. So you've got to have made 4 visits. But we're not just asking a new member to make 4 visits in maybe the first week. We're looking for them to visit regularly as well over the first month, and to maybe fill in the survey, or maybe like the page on Facebook, or refer a friend. All these kind of things could go into a Zero to Hero program. And if all these things are done in the first 30 days, the member's going to get some kind of reward or benefit. So the idea is that this card is given out to new members, or possibly returning members who've been absent, and they get it stamped or ticked or signed once they've had their stage 1, once they've made 4 visits, once they've completed the survey, as long as they've made 1 visit per week in the first 30 days, and possibly towards the end of the first month they have their program review. They then might come to you and say, look, I'm really not interested in classes. I'm not going to attend a class. Well, unless you attend a class, you're not going to complete the Zero to Hero program. So it's a way of persuading new members into a class, or maybe to get their program review, or perhaps to fill in that survey, because once they do that, they've completed the card and they get whatever they get for the Zero to Hero program. So the idea is we want everyone to go, whether they're starting from 0, we want everyone to complete this. So you might give people an extension who haven't done the class in the first 30 days. You could give them a 10-day extension to go and attend that class, tell them which one would suit them well, so that they can complete the card. We want everyone to succeed at this. So there is a certain bending of the rules normally allowed. And what does this mean? Well, when the new member graduates, whether they've filled in a full-on Zero to Hero program, or whether it's just 1 month after they joined, let's do something. Let's celebrate that. It could just be with a text or an email or a thumbs up if you are very adept at social media and want to mention your new members who joined 30 days ago. And you could give them a reward, a referral voucher, something like that. If they've really gone the extra yard and filled in the Zero to Hero program, T-shirts are always really popular. Or it might be that something wasn't promised up front, and that they get a surprise at the end of month 1 that they didn't know they were going to get. So it's another good way of just recognizing members and saying, well done, you've got to the end of your new member journey. There are some clubs who no longer give out welcome packs as people join. People join and pay their joining fee, but the welcome pack, it's maybe a bag and a towel and a water bottle, is given out at the end of month 1, or once they've made 10 visits. So holding those things back, first of all, it separates it from the joining fee. That's not what you're paying for, but it's really helping members to build the habit. The other thing we should do is think about what happens internally. Do the sales team have their commission paid once that member has made 10 visits? Do we know which salesperson made not necessarily the most sales, but the best sales in terms of those new members' subsequent visits? How many or what percentage of each salesperson's members made the most first month visits, and who's the top of the tree from that point of view, or who, when do we ring the bell or celebrate? So just to wind this up in terms of tracking our graduations at the end of the new member journey, what we need to do is, first of all, define what graduation is. One of our mantras at GGFit is keep it simple. Define it and then measure it. The simpler you keep it, the easier it is to measure and for everyone to understand. And then once you know what graduation is, celebrate the graduations first of all with the members. So give them a high five once they reach their 10th visit, or give them a t-shirt. But also celebrate internally with the staff and recognize the staff that are motivating members more. And what happens next? Well, this is just the beginning. We now move on to the active member journey, and these members now need to be kept active, and we'll come on to that, I'm sure, with other webinars going forward. So that's the graduation from a new member, if you like, the end of the new member journey and the start of on to greater things and to stick around forever at your gym, hopefully. So this was the fourth and final in this series of mini masterclasses. You can keep in touch, keep an eye out on crowdcast.io/ggfit. There will be more of these in the near future. Or like and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/ggfit for more information and stay in touch. Alternatively, drop us an email to info@ggfit.com. If there are any questions now, then please feel free to add them to the comments either within Facebook or on Crowdcast. We'll get to those as soon as we can. Other than that, thank you very much for listening. I hope this was useful, and I hope you get your members to stick around and get even fitter and healthier. Thank you very much.